Hello and welcome back to 5 and 5, Rebel and Soul's new web series where we take industry leaders and ask them 5 questions in 5 minutes. We've got the wonderful Anastasia Evans with us today from Whaler. Hey Annie, how you doing?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. So I always like to kick off with a bit of an icebreaker. So my first question to you is, tell me what your go-to karaoke song is.
So this one is a bit of a classic, but maybe not for the reason that you would think of. So my go-to karaoke song is "Torn" by Natalie Imbruglia. But I don't do the Natalie version. And really embarrassingly, I do the One Direction cover of "Torn." But
Okay.
no one knows. Only I know that, except for now all of the people watching this.
Excellent. We'll have to do that sometime. And Annie, what's been the biggest impact that the COVID situation has had on your business?
So Whaler is a content production company. We source creatives from social media and pair them with brands. And there are 2 outcomes of that really. The first one is we produce content kind of quickly, locally, on the ground using kind of individuals rather than full production teams. And the second is we can kind of just do influencer marketing. I'd say at the moment, brands are shying away from influencers as they can be, you know, a little bit aspirational, and that can be seen as tone deaf right now when people are struggling. But it also means that, you know, when we can't do full production shoots anymore, using our solution is a really good way of producing content at scale. We're doing kind of full shoots, but just using one person at home, producing something really lovely by themselves. And so really we've just seen that switch from influencers through to production.
Do you think that this will be a long-lasting effect? Will you carry on doing that, or will things go back to normal after?
It's a good question, and I think it's really difficult to say right now what the long-term impact of this will be. I did read an interesting New York Times article the other day about how like celebrity culture is really changing. So people no longer really want to see what celebrities sitting in their mansions are doing when the everyday life for the average person is not so great. And I think we might have a similar thing with influencers, and we'll be moving away from like the aspirational, kind of authentic but aspirational side of influencer marketing through to something, you know, like we're seeing on the growth of TikTok, for example. It's just pure entertainment, or a little bit more every day. And I think maybe that will be the long-term impact on influencers. And in terms of production, yeah, I think a lot more brands are now kind of opening their eyes to see that you really can create something amazing without a full production team and, you know, a 5-day shoot and flying everybody around the world.
Yeah.
I'm actually hoping that will be a long-term impact.
Awesome. Okay. So in our team, we've been saying a lot into the virtual, which essentially means driving virtual technologies, diving into them instead of avoiding them. What excites you about the concept of moving into virtual innovation?
So I think the main thing is really that it's open to anybody. It's a lot more accessible. And so like Whaler's tagline is called Liberating the Creative Voice. And that's around opening up creativity to both on brands, but also to freelance creatives who wouldn't necessarily have the opportunity to work with these big global brands in kind of traditional legacy kind of way of advertising. And so I'm really into the idea of just like liberating it and bringing everybody into the fold. And these kind of virtual realities can bring everybody together, regardless of, you know, disability, where they are in the world. Maybe they wouldn't necessarily afford to be able to do something kind of in real life and travel to a certain place. Whereas now we can all do everything together, and it's a lot more, more community driven.
For sure. Okay, we've got just 40 seconds left. I'm actually curious to know what is one of the best pieces of content that you've seen in this sort of space recently.
In Corona times?
Yes.
I would say that's a really big question. We've seen some really lovely stuff from Dove around kind of again, inclusivity and being at home and being together, and the importance of that. Sorry?
I have not seen that actually.
I'll send it to you afterwards. We can put a link on.
All right, thank you so much. We were at 5 minutes exactly, so it was lovely speaking to you. And till next time. This has been 5 and 5.